We've all felt lonely at one point in our lives, maybe some of us even more than once. Right now, I'm somewhat struggling with loneliness as well. That's why I decided to create this video in order to share my thoughts and in turn help both of us handle this pain a lot better than we are. So, if you want to see how to deal with loneliness better and maybe even escape it once and for all, stick around till the end of the video and enjoy. I want to first begin with what loneliness is. Also, I feel like I'm the leader of a fucking cult and I'm trying to make you join it. Let's first see what hanging people by a rope is actually all about. Haha. But all jokes aside and all cringiness aside, loneliness, as by the dictionary definition, is exactly what we would think it is. Sadness because one has no friends. But if you go a little deeper, loneliness is a feeling created by the difference between the quantity and especially quality of the friends we have and those that we want, which gives us a better understanding of what loneliness truly is. Because let's say we were to have a lot of friends or people around us, but they just didn't feel right for us. They didn't resonate with us. I believe that's what most of the time loneliness is about. Not necessarily an extreme lack of companionship, but rather a lack of people who you would like to spend your time with. And that's personally the situation I find myself in, because I have people around me, not many, but there are some. But the problem is that I don't manage to really connect with any of them, at least not anymore. That's probably the case for most of you guys suffering right now from loneliness. And if so, I have to ask you something I asked myself just earlier. Is your loneliness caused by the fact that the people you have in your life aren't how you would like them to be? Or by the fact that you don't feel welcome with or around them? To give you more context in order for you to better understand, my loneliness is the most prominent while I'm in school because I cannot occupy my time with anything that interests me. So I'm most of the time left to wander the classroom. The fact is that I have the opportunity to go out and hang with some of my friends or acquaintances, but I don't. And so I ask myself today, why am I not going outside more often to spend time with them? At first, the answer was surely because I don't like the time I spend with them. And I thought about it a little harder and I came to the conclusion that I don't like the time I spend with them. Not necessarily because of the people there, people whom I could spend my leisure time with and have no issues, but because I don't feel welcome and wanted around them. So the reason was that I didn't feel good with them, but I thought that it was for a completely different cause. And when I'm faced with an issue where it could be mine or other people's fault, for example in this case I don't like the time I spend with them because of me, because I don't feel welcome around them, or it could be their fault because they're not at the level I want my friends to be at. And that's why I like to ask myself, would the result have been better if I had been better? And if the answer is yes, which for most of the time obviously it is, I stopped blaming any of the people involved, including myself, because I know I'm already working on it. Also, I'm aware I talked for most of the video about myself. I actually got a complaint from one of my classmates that I storytell too much, but I think that there may be some of you in the exact situation I am in. And if so, I want you to be able to relate to what I'm saying. That's why I'm including these beats as well. Also, I have some advice for you regarding what I talked about earlier that I'm actually gonna implement myself. And that is, go out there and hang with them, be friendly, talk more, and step out of your shell. Because if you don't feel welcome around them, then you're probably not talking much, and because of that, they can't really become friends with you either. Try putting yourself out there, talking more and being more present. Do that for a while, and if it actually is true that they don't want you there, then you'll at least know for certain to go fishing in another pond. But let's say that my assumption was deeply wrong and there actually isn't anyone with this exact type of problem. If so, does that mean that I baited you like the best fisherman for nothing? Not quite, because if you, let's say, either don't have many friends at all, or if you do, you don't like spending time with them, the advice I gave earlier still stands. You just have to make it better suited for this case. That is, put yourself out there, go out in the world and meet new people. And yes, I know that sounds terribly bullshitty, mostly because it's hard, and I am aware of that. And in this case, I'm not even an example to be taken, because I don't do it either. That's because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the rejection I might be met with if I try to do that. We're all afraid of it, and that's normal. Even if you think back to when we were living in caves. If we tried to communicate with another human and it went poorly, most of the time it would result in our death. Just as the caveman did, we have to try to reach out to others even in spite of that. And in order to show you that I'm not a hypocrite and that doesn't follow his own advice, I'm going to start putting myself out there as well. Not just in the group of friends that I told you earlier, but in general. And I'm going to do that firstly by hanging around the front of my school more, and because that's where most of the teens go, and forcing myself to meet new people there, through either acquaintances or even maybe by introducing myself. Secondly, I want to try this, but I don't know if it will work, and that is by messaging other people, probably on Instagram. I have it deleted, but I can still open it up for my PC, and I want you to do the same. Not necessarily the same things I'm gonna do, but just putting yourself out there in any way you find the best for you and your personality. I know you're probably just as tired, and if not, then probably even more tired of this loneliness than I am. So you have to do something about it. I thought of those 2 solutions that I'm gonna implement in the last 5 minutes of writing the script, which means you can come up with even better ways that suit you and your personality. So do it now. Pause this video, sit and think until you come up with an idea that you can actually put into practice. And if there doesn't seem to be any one that you can do, and the reasoning is the same for every one of them, that being that it's too hard, then shut your fucking mouth up. Pick one and do it, no matter how hard it may be. And once you decide to do it, everything will become much easier. Trust me, when I wrote the script, I already felt like I wanted to go out and talk to new people. And I still do. And no matter how hard it is, guys, remember that it's harder to live a lonely life than to try escaping one. Good. Now that you know what to do, and I know that you will do it, I want to see in the comments your progress regarding meeting new people and making new friends. I also plan on writing about my experience with the things I'm gonna try, and you'll probably see it in the comments. Okay, very nice. That was it for this video. There will be just one more topic regarding loneliness, that being romantic one, but that is another subject in its entirety. That's why I'm gonna make a different video about it, so stay tuned. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Tell me if you enjoy hearing my hardships and if you think that it actually helps you overcome yours. And until next time, check out my other video right here, I think, or maybe right here, I still don't know where. And I don't know what video it is, but it's gonna be great nonetheless. Have an amazing day and keep growing. Mwah.